Welcome back for another video. Last game week full of highs and lows, wasn't it? 53 points all out for me. It was a dreadful start to the game week, having benched Eze for Sarr. I had Sarr, Eze, Murphy all benched at some point when I was trying to decide who to actually start. Sarr, I mean, he was top in the league for XGI over the last 5 game weeks, so I did follow the data and it didn't go well. Eze obviously got the 2 assists for a 9-pointer. And blanks from Raya, Kanate, Salah as captain, Marmoush, Isak, Palmer. Palmer obviously a surprise benching as well. Vardy with a 9-pointer, and that Newcastle game to close the game week really coming in clutch for me. Murphy in particular turning a big red arrow into a green one. 34 points was the average score, so that was the lowest of the entire season to date. The 14 most expensive players blanked as well, in fact. So the most expensive player who even got a return was 7.7 million Mateta. If you had a bad week, then it was a good week to have a bad week. I got really lucky with the Isak blank as well, because as I say, I opted for Salah captain myself. So we've got double gaming up next, where the average score will certainly be a lot higher. Some incredible single gaming fixtures as well to look forward to next. So I asked for your best and worst scores, and you didn't disappoint. FPL of the day says 75 for me, Oscar, with a nice little pun on Amorim. And he said, best thing he's done for Man United since he arrived, smashed it. Hope to see you back on YouTube doing FPL videos. I did used to enjoy your FPL content. Mark M says, unmitigated disaster. Not a single return. Henderson was his highest scorer with 3 points. 19 points all out. That's absolutely killer. Cozy says, is my bench cooked, sir? So he got 32 points all out, but he had Murphy, Eze and Burn on the bench, who combined for 28 points. Almost as much as the starting 11. In fact, this one's not as bad as I first thought. So they've got Gabriel in the starting 11 here, which does mean that Murphy comes on. So count yourself lucky there. FPL Mass had the best rank of any team sent him. 72 points first of all. So a ridiculously strong score, about double the average. And he's moved up to 92nd in the world as well. I was actually chatting to him on Spaces the other day, and he's considering some interesting chip strategies. Basically to see if he can play his chips differently for the run-in that might win him the whole thing. Best of luck. FPL Ask says 36 points season over. Well, although 36 points obviously sucks, it's far from season over. Like, even at this later stage of the season, in fairness, like 176k rank, still really good platform to build on. And I mean, this final one actually shows what's possible in just 1 week. So it was FPL Middle who scored 82 points and says that was a green arrow from 156k to 62k. So a gaming rank of 2,600 in the world. They were basically the same rank as FPL Ask actually last game week, and they cut their rank down to about a third of it more or less. Some of you watching are about to have a week just like this. Best of luck. It's a while since we've looked at this table as well. So here's the points thresholds for the FPL rankings. So have a check how many total points you're on the app and how close some of these thresholds are to you just in front of you. So 2,066 points is top 100k. 2019 is 300k, 1992 is 500k, 1946 is 1 million. So I'm 12 points behind top 10k currently. I'm actually yet to get into there this season, getting close though. So it is double game week 32 next. Let's get into the team for the double, and there has been a change in my transfer plans as well, so we'll talk about that. In goal, I've got a choice to make between Martinez, who's got Southampton away, or Raya, who's got Brentford home. Both sides, of course, have got Champions League legs, either side of Game Week 32, which is going to be prioritised. We saw that from Arsenal starting 11 last game week, actually. So yeah, it could equate to some rotation, which won't help either team's clean sheet odds. Over the last 6 game weeks, Villa's 12.3 expected goals conceded actually ranks second worst in the league after Southampton, though they actually have managed 2 clean sheets. Who would you start, Raya or Martinez? In defence, it's Vardy or Burn and Kanate. So another start for Kanate, and here's your clean sheet odds for Game Week 32. So Liverpool in third here, 45% chance. And I've calculated the combined odds for Newcastle and Palace to give you their odds of keeping at least 1 across the 2 games, which puts Newcastle top, 56% chance, and then it's Brighton, Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal. Palace just a 28% chance, even though it's a double. The odds aren't great at all for Palace, which is actually why I ultimately opted for triple attack. Not that it got off to a great start, of course, after Munoz ended up scoring. It looks like a small mistake to go Burn over Livramento after Livra got the assist last match. But I mean, if I end up with exact money for my planned moves in Gameweek 33, then it would have been worth it. It's incredibly tight at the moment to afford the moves that I hope to make, and I might end up on a different path anyway. We'll take a -4. Man United home and Palace home for Burn. And he escaped yellow cards in the last 2 games since I bought him, which was important. He now doesn't run the risk of missing any of the double Gameweek fixtures due to yellow card suspension. And lastly, Vardiol with a home fixture to Palace. I mean, I've got to start him, but obviously deep down, those of us that have got Vardiol are going to be hoping for no clean sheet and that our Palace attackers return anyway. The only good scenario really is that Palace score a few, but Vardiol also gets an attack in return, which admittedly is not likely. So onto the midfield 5, which is Eze, Sarr, Murphy, Palmer and Salah. It's completely stacked midfield this week. First of all, what a hero Murphy is. First time owning him in my team, probably ever actually in any season. First time playing him, and he comes away with his biggest score of the season, 16 points. Very lucky. I mean, only Salah's got more attacking returns since December in the league. Following Arsenal's win in the Champions League, top 5 now qualifies for Champions League next season. Huge news for the likes of Forest, Chelsea, Newcastle, Man City and Villa, who are obviously all fighting for those spots. Every game matters now. Although I had a bit of a mare benching Eze for Sarr last game week, I am glad to have both anyway, as they're both excellent players, albeit inconsistent this season. Eze's drop-off in goals is a bit odd actually this season. I don't know, is it the loss of Elise or something else? Eze scored 10 goals in 22-23, 11 goals in 23-24, only 2 goals all season here. I mean, that was ultimately why I felt Sarr was slightly better to start last game week. He has scored 5 more goals and he's got 4 assists as well. Despite last game week, if I had to pick one Palace midfielder, I still think it would be Sarr, for the price difference and much better underlying data over the season. If we didn't have a double game week, then there'd be a huge conversation on captaincy this week. Salah's now blank for 2 games in a row for only the 2nd time this season, which is pretty absurd. The last couple of games he really hasn't impressed on the eye test either. I mean, is it just a natural dip in form, or is it contract related, or is it complacency by Liverpool with such a comfortable lead in the table? Maybe a bit of all 3. I suppose if I had to pick a game for Palmer to be benched, game week 31 or 32, then it would have been last game week with a tougher fixture, since he's home to Ipswich next. I mean, no guarantee he starts this one either, of course. Maresco clearly managing some players' minutes ahead of the Europa Conference League. I was surprised by how much he rotated though, if I'm honest. Like, even with top 5 now qualifying for Champions League next season, it's still extremely tight from 3rd to 7th. Chelsea are 4th right now, but they're only 2 points ahead of Villa, who are 7th. I mean, perhaps Maresca's going all out to try and put the game to bed in the first leg. Up front, it's Mateta and Isak. Despite the blank against Leicester, there's just no one that I'm remotely tempted by as an alternative captain to Isak. The captaincy widget on the app has got Isak on 5 stars, everyone else on 1 star. I haven't seen that all season since it was added. And I would have to agree, to be honest with you. There were fears before last match that he might have a small injury, and of course that led to a lot of people going Salah captain, and of course he did start in the end, and Hal said the following post-match: I think he's 100% fit. I wouldn't have taken any risks with him tonight if he wasn't. It was an opportunity to rest him with the game in a good position for us, but no, I don't think we have to manage him from this point onwards. Fingers crossed he'll be fine. Lastly, Mateta, who will benefit from that Nketiah red card in the sense that his expected minutes should go up a notch. I'm actually giving Mateta the vice captaincy. I did have it on Eze, but he feels too much like a creator this season, and Mateta is exactly the type of player that could really wreak havoc against City and Newcastle's defences, in my opinion. So yes, Isak captain, Mateta vice. I could be in line for some bench pain this week. It's Raya, Marmoush, Wan-Bissaka and Gabriel. I mean, City really could put a few past Palace given Guehi's suspension. We'll have to see on Richards and Lacroix as well, who are both yellow flagged. They could both make it, and I really hope that they do as a Marmoush bencher. There's no one that I could bench him for here. Like Palmer and Salah, they have to start, as do all the double Gameweek attackers, of course. So here's the predicament. In Gameweek 33, my plan is to buy Saka for Palmer, Rodgers for Murphy, and Saliba for Gabriel. That only leaves me with 0.2 mil wiggle room, and Gabriel and Saliba are heading opposite ways in price before the deadline. It could be tonight, plus Saka looks set to rise. So the plan is to move Gabriel to Saliba 1 week early, and I'll have to see how the price changes play out elsewhere. That gets me up to 10 doublers in Gameweek 33 next week if all goes to plan, and the bench boost will be active, including Martinez on the bench. The bench will probably be Isak, Wan-Bissaka and Burn. So yeah, that's my thinking. I think I have to go a week early. I don't like to do that, but I'm not sure what I would do otherwise if I don't go early now. The other thing is, this does get me to double Villa, who are the likeliest team to double in Gameweek 36. If they don't double, then it'll be Palace that doubles in 36 instead. So I've got both sides covered. If City reach the final, then I'll be on double City as well with Marmish and Vardiol. So 4 or 5 doublers potentially, with room to maybe add one more. I'll have to be careful though not to overcommit, because it'll be a blank Gameweek 37. I could add a Bournemouth asset maybe, who could double in 36, and obviously they've got Leicester in Gameweek 38. So that's the team and the plans. Thank you as always for watching, and good luck this game week. I hope you'll smash it with big green arrows. There's more FPL content to come before the deadline as well, so hit subscribe and drop a like. See you soon for the next one.